you are on here. I hope that you have pen and paper ready to go. I will say that I know for my team specifically, first of all, I have been connected with and following Brock on Instagram and Snapchat back. I'm like one of your OGs, like way back in the Unwrapped Snap days where you taught parents how to be Snapchat ninjas, I think was the was the catchphrase. So
That is awesome.
I'm definitely one of your OG fans, and I just have found myself. I think we can all speak to the fact that social media these days, it just feels like every day there's something new to learn and something new to kind of grow through. And in order to stay, like in the front lines of the work that we all do, running businesses online, specifically Beachbody coaches, we have to stay on top of that. And so I found myself constantly just going to Brock's Instagram and like, okay, what do I need to know today? I mean, so much like insane value over there, as I'm sure you guys know. And then when working with my team, and they, would go through some struggles with social media and like how to connect with more people and engage their audience and all the things. And I found myself saying, go follow Brock Johnson, go follow Brock Johnson, go follow Brock Johnson. And I was like, you know what, why don't we just bring him on a team call? Because I'm sending you guys there anyway. So anyways, I'm so glad that all of you are here. Brock, thank you for taking time out of your evening to spend this with us. And I am just gonna pass the mic over to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much, everyone, for hopping on tonight and joining, whether you've already eaten dinner or you're making dinner right now or whatever you got going on, whatever time zone you're in. I really, really appreciate you popping on and hanging out with me tonight. Beth, while I'm introducing myself, would you mind making me a co-host so that I can share some slides? Because I got some slides prepared tonight, because I don't know about you, but I'm a visual learner. So I like to see things typed out in big, bold text, and I like to have arrows pointing around and lists 1, 2, 3 so that we can follow along together. I will save time for Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, it's probably best to save them for Q&A. If there's like an urgent one, of course, let me know. But for the most part, we'll save Q&A for the end. I'll introduce myself again. I am Brock Johnson. I am a 23-year-old Instagram marketing expert. I got my start on Snapchat, oddly enough, teaching parents how to keep their kids safe on Snapchat back a few years ago now. My mom is Shalene Johnson. Her and I, we work together now, and we do a lot of this whole marketing, Instagram, business growth thing together. So we've teamed up, and it's really, really fun to get to work with my mom. But let me share my slides with you, and let's get to the meat of this training. Like that's what you're here for. We're here to talk about growing your Instagram and really what really matters, because that's my ultimate goal. I think there's a lot of fluff on the internet. There's a million different experts who you could listen to on YouTube who are going to tell you that you need to do this and you need to do this. But a lot of that's fluff. And I'm going to teach you the things that are really going to move the needle, the things that are really going to give you the most bang for your buck, because like I recognize we all have a lot going on. Like maybe you have kids, or you have multiple businesses to run, or you work a full-time job and this is your part-time job, or no matter what stage we're at, we never have enough time. So I want to really save you time and give you the things that really matter on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Brock11 Johnson. I also made it my little Zoom handle. That way it's easy to remember. And I say to follow me, not because like I want more followers or anything like that. That's not what I'm after. I say to follow me. I recommend it just because, like Beth said, thank you very much, Beth. But like Beth said, every single day on my Instagram, I'm posting at least one thing that is some sort of valuable tip or resource, if not multiple a day. I think I posted a couple today, posted like 3 yesterday. So I'm always just posting these valuable educational tips so that when you follow me on Instagram, you're like, wow, I feel like I'm learning as much as I would in this training tonight. So anyways, let's get to the 5 biggest mistakes. Let's start there. Let's start with the 5 biggest mistakes on Instagram, the 5 things that I see people doing wrong. These are also probably the first things you need to get cleaned up. And the first one is a huge topic, and it's something we're going to talk about in just a second. In fact, all of these top 5 mistakes are things we're going to break down in depth tonight. But the first one is failing to niche down. Failing to niche down. Instagram doesn't tell us much about the algorithm. Like the algorithm's kind of this mystical thing that everyone's trying to overcome. But the one thing that Instagram does say about the algorithm is that it's most beneficial if you post, and this is a direct quote, on brand content. In other words, niche content that is specifically related to one niche. So failing to niche down, posting about a million different topics, That's a huge mistake, and that's the biggest mistake I see people make on Instagram. Number two, just copying what your upline is doing. Just because it works for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Everything I'm going to share tonight are best practices, and these are best practices and strategies and tips that are based on research and studies. But if something else is true for your account, if your account doesn't perfectly fit the mold, don't just copy what everyone else is doing. You need to know that every audience is different. Maybe your upline always posts at 9 a.m. and that's perfect for them. But for you, your audience is most active at 3 p.m. Those are things that we're going to talk about tonight. Number three, too much selling, not enough value. Also put too much selling, not enough serving. Every single day on my Instagram feed, I am just giving value away. I'm just teaching tips. I'm just giving education. I'm just sharing new news and new updates. I'm just constantly telling you about new features on Instagram. Your goal on Instagram should be to serve your audience. And we'll talk about that. And I'm sure that's something you've heard a million times, and we're going to talk about that tonight. And really tangibly, like, how can you do that? What does that look like on Instagram? Number four, incorrect use of hashtags. Hashtags, I know it's like the big thing with Instagram is how do I figure out hashtags? Don't worry, we'll talk about it a little bit tonight. And then finally, number five is posting content that's just interesting. We're going to go in depth on this one. And this one's something that I'm really passionate about, is just posting interesting content that you're like, oh, well, you know, this is me out to dinner with my family, or this is me on a vacation with my friends, or this is what I ate today. Just interesting content isn't what's going to work on Instagram anymore. So let's go back to that first point. Let's talk about niche really quick, because that's the biggest mistake. And that's also the point where you need to start. Whether you have 100 followers or 100,000, this is ground zero. This is the foundation of your account, niche. The easiest way to grow on Instagram is to just focus on a single topic. Because guess what? If you're posting about a bunch of different topics, then every single time you post about a different thing, you're alienating the rest of your audience. You're alienating them. If people know you for hair care tips and suddenly you're posting about a ski trip with your family, then all of those people who follow you for hair care tips suddenly are like, wait, what's going on? I don't care about this. You need to be known for one single topic. And that's how you can grow so much faster. And I like to use the analogy of a tree. You pick a niche, you become known for that one thing, and then you can branch out later. But you have to build the strong foundation. You have to build that strong trunk, if you will, first, before you can branch out into a million different other directions, before you can have a supplement line, and then you do this, and you also sell this on the side, and then you also talk about your skiing trips, and you also talk about the yummy drinks you make. You have to be known for one thing before branching out. And let me say this, I'm very intentional when I say the word pick a niche. Pick a niche, because I hear it all the time, Brock, help me find my niche. That's always what I hear. Help me find my niche. But I don't think it's something that you find. I don't think it's something that's like magical out in the universe. It's not like, you know, you're going to read it in your horoscope one day. Like, it is not something that you find. It's something you just pick. My mom came up with the analogy that it's like dating. You pick a niche, you roll with it for a couple of months, and you test it out. Is this the right niche for me? Is this really sparking my flame? Is this firing me up? Is this something that I'm excited to talk about every single day? Is this something that other people around me think is a right fit for me? And if a couple months later it is, awesome, keep rolling with it. If not, you can break up with that niche and change it and evolve later on. But it's just like dating. You gotta roll with it for a few months. And you have to pick just one. I mean, if you're dating a bunch of different niches, you're not gonna be successful. You're never gonna find the one if you're testing out a bunch of different ones at the same time. So I encourage you, just pick one, roll with it for a few months, and then break up with the niche and change it later on if it's not the right fit for you. But you're never gonna know if it is the right fit or if it isn't the right fit until you try it. That's another question. That's always the follow-up question I get after I talk about niche is like, hey, so this is what I like to do. Is this right for me? I don't know. I don't know if it's right for you. You don't know if it's right for you. You have to try it out first. Then you can figure out if it's the right thing for you. But you only are going to know if you first try it out and pick that niche to begin with. Here is a really tangible way that I like to use niche on Instagram. The first line of your Instagram bio should be this sentence right here. This should be the first line of your Instagram bio. If you look at my Instagram bio, this is the first line. If you look at my mom's Instagram bio, this is up there, one of the first lines. If you look at any of the students who we coach and work with, this is the first line of your bio. This is the Mad Lib template that we like to provide. Now, you can get more fancy if you want. If you don't like the word help, You can change that verb if you want, but this is the basic template. I help in a specific group of people with a specific problem. If you just say something general like, I help people lose weight, I don't know if your account is for me or not. But if I land on your page and your page says, I help former college athletes continue a steady workout routine after their playing career, then when I land on your account as a former college athlete, I'm like, psh, yes, okay, this person is for me, I'm following. But you would have lost the opportunity to have me as a follower because you weren't being specific. I think another great example of this is recently I was working with a travel agent and I landed on her bio and her bio said, I help you book your dream destination. And I read that and I thought what you're thinking, like, okay, another travel agent on Instagram, like just another nothing special travel agent on Instagram. But then I start talking to her and Julie was her name. And Julie said, you know, Brock, I don't book just regular travel vacations. I don't book just like, hey, 5-star, all expenses paid hotel. I don't book the fancy cruise. She's like, I want the off the beaten path travel. She's like, I want the millennials who are traveling on a budget and they want to like backpack through national parks in Utah. She's like, I want the person who wants to go on a 14-day road trip and camp through all the national forests in the United States. I'm like, okay, whoa, Julie. You're a travel agent for me and my fiance. That's the kind of travel we're into. But I'll tell you who you're not. You're not a travel agent for my mom and dad. Like they're not into that kind of travel. But here's the thing. With the boring bio that is so typical that I help people lose weight. I help you get fit. I help women achieve their dreams and feel confident. We're not specific enough. Get specific. As specific as you possibly can. Divide the population in half. Is it men or women? If it's women, okay. Is it women over 40? Is it women under 20? Is it women with 2 kids? Is it moms? Is it single moms? Who is that specific group that you help? The more specific you can get with that group and with the problem, I promise you, the more you'll grow. And like I was just saying, by not niching down, you're actually alienating a bigger group of people. So you need to get real specific with that. And then just put it in the first line of your Instagram bio. So like I said, your niche will evolve over time. It will evolve and change. Like Beth said, when I first started out, I was teaching parents how to keep their kids safe on Snapchat. Totally different than what I'm doing now. I can't even remember the last time I logged on to Snapchat. And that's just in the last 4 or 5 years. So your niche will evolve and change. Number 2, not picking a niche rather, is stopping you from growing. I promise you, that is what's stopping you from growing. I don't care if you have a reel that reaches 13 million people, you're gonna grow so much faster if you've picked a niche. And then number 3, picking a niche actually unlocks the door to everything else on Instagram. It makes both your life and your potential followers' life a lot easier. One of those doors that picking your niche unlocks is hashtags. We're going to talk about hashtags right now. We could talk about hashtags for the next 3 hours, but I don't want to be here all night. I just finished a workout and I'm kind of hungry. So we're going to fly through hashtags, but here's what I'll tell you before we even talk about hashtags. Let me say this. Hashtags they're just one log to be placed on the fire. Growing your Instagram has a lot of different pieces involved. If hashtags aren't working for you, if you follow all of these tips that I'm about to provide and they're still not working right, let's not stress out and freak out over the fact that hashtags aren't working. Hashtags are something that Instagram designed to be a little bit confusing, and they're designed so that you can't dominate it. Instagram doesn't want you to just monopolize a hashtag because that's not fair to everyone else. They're designed that way. So just know that if your hashtags aren't working as well as you see someone else's hashtags working, that's okay. It's just one log on the fire. Let's not get so stressed out because one log burnt out that we accidentally let the other 5 die, okay? Let's make sure to tend to all the logs and keep stoking that fire. But let's talk about hashtags because they are an excellent way to grow your account. Whether your account is big or small, and actually if your account's small, hashtags are more beneficial to you than anyone else. The first tip that I have for you is 28 hashtags. Every single post should have 28 hashtags. And I just got to take a second. I see a lot of people writing notes, and that means a lot to me. That really does mean a lot to me. I was always one of those students who sat in the front row and was the teacher's pet and took notes. So I appreciate everyone who's taken notes tonight. 28 hashtags, every single post. Then your hashtags go in the first comment. There's a big debate about this amongst Instagram experts. People say, put it in the caption, put it in the comment. Where do the hashtag go? Put some in the caption, put some in the comments. Just put it in the comment, and here is why. We talked to the head of marketing at IGTV. His name is John Ushai. He is literally an employee of Instagram, like the holy grail. You know, you never get to talk to anyone who actually works at Instagram. We got to talk to him, and we asked him, we said, John, where should we put the hashtags? And he said, Brock and Chalene, it doesn't matter. You can put it in the caption or you can put it in the comment. It doesn't make a difference. So then why am I telling you to put it in the first comment? Purely aesthetics, purely aesthetics. Sometimes you're going to type a great caption. You're going to share some tips in your caption. You're going to write a great story, whatever. It looks distracting if there's a big old chunk of hashtags there at the bottom, right? Like it's kind of visually distracting. It's not super good looking, and then it looks kind of spammy. And also think about this. Imagine if you only write like a short caption, but then you put 28 hashtags at the bottom. Suddenly that short caption looks like a long one. And if I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't want to read that. That looks really long. So I'm going to skip it. It looks way better to put your hashtags in the first comment. And so that's why I recommend putting them there. If it's going to apply the same either way, you might as well tuck them away and hide them in the first comment. Third tip about hashtags, they need to be put on your post. They need to be put in that first comment immediately after uploading. The longer you wait, the less impactful they're going to be. So if we end this training tonight and you try to go back to all of your recent posts and put hashtags on, it's not going to do anything. You have to do it immediately after posting. Number 4, and this is how we talked about niche and how it unlocks some doors for you, you should be using niched hashtags. What I mean by that is that the hashtags should be specific to your post and specific to your industry. Hashtag fitness, hashtag workout, hashtag mom workout, hashtag home workout. These are too big. These are too broad. These are industries. These are big categories. These aren't niche. These aren't specific. The more specific you can be with your hashtags, the better. That's why I say keep it between 20,000 and 500,000. Researching hashtags, you can spend hours doing it, but when you are researching hashtags, pick ones that are ideally between 20,000 and 500,000 posts. Anything more than 500,000 posts, and it's probably just way too many people using that hashtag, your likelihood of becoming a top post is very low. And if you're using a hashtag that only has 5,000 posts in it, not very many people are using it or looking at it. So you should be using niche hashtags, ideally between 20K and 500K. And then my final tip for your hashtags is that, like I said, they need to be specific to the post. Instagram can tell what is in your post, like what the actual content is. This is another crazy example. I was working with a mom who is a birth doula, and she was trying to attract pregnant women, obviously. So we looked at the hashtag 28 weeks pregnant, and it's changed since then, but at the time we looked at 28 weeks pregnant, and it was what you would expect. There's a bunch of women pregnant, they're holding their belly, maybe their partner's with them. It was exactly what you'd expect for hashtag 28 weeks pregnant. Then we looked at another related hashtag. We looked at 32 weeks pregnant, 4 weeks later, 32 weeks pregnant. And for some reason, when we looked at that hashtag, all of the posts, all of the top posts at least, were women wearing red. They weren't all related. They were all from different accounts, but for whatever reason, Instagram decided that if you're going to be a top post for hashtag 32 weeks pregnant, you better be wearing red. Whether it's red pajamas or a red dress or a red t-shirt, there needs to be some red or some red bottoms, like whatever you are wearing in that image, it needs to be red. Who knows why? Nobody knows, and you don't need to know. But you do need to look at that ahead of time. You do need to look at your hashtags ahead of time, because your content, whatever you're posting, it should match whatever that hashtag is that you're using. So it should be specific to your post, specific to your content. Let's talk about post frequency and how frequently you need to be posting on a daily basis. And you know what? I think I need to change this slide, honestly. I think I need to delete this, because if we open up this slide and you see this phrase right here, ideally 3 to 5 feed posts per day, everyone shuts down. Everyone just, like, I need to hide this for a second. I need to like create a buffer in here so that I can mentally prep everyone for cue the freak out, like Beth said, 3 to 5 feed posts per day. That is ideal. Don't worry, stick with me for a second. Let's do some calming breaths and some self-tapping. Let's calm that for a second, because don't worry, I'll make it easier for you. But know that ideally, like I have to tell you the truth. And I had coffee at like 5 p.m. tonight. And then I just worked out. So like I have a lot of energy right now. And I need to tell you the truth and I need to be honest with you. And that's that ideally, you should be posting 3 to 5 times a day. Ideally, in a perfect world. Now, is that possible for everyone? No. But that's your goal. Here's what I will say, and this should hopefully calm the anxiety, is that 1 is greater than 0. Posting once a day is better than 0 times a day. Posting twice is better than once. Posting 3 times is better than 2 times. You should be posting basically as frequently as possible. I highly doubt anyone on the planet can post more than 5 times a day, unless you're like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Okay, maybe he could, like he just posts pictures of himself shirtless, or Shaun T. Shaun T can post more than 5 times a day, but like that's cheating because he's got adorable twins and he's got a great body and a beautiful husband. So like that's cheating. But for most of us, our goal should be posting as frequently as possible. And here's what I'll tell you about that. Here's the reason for that really, is that each post is an opportunity to serve your audience and reach a new existing audience. So if I post 3 times today, that means 3 times today, you got to learn something, and 3 times today, I got to reach new people. But if I only post 3 times a week, that means I'm going days. There's like a 48-hour period where I'm not reaching anyone new and I'm not serving anyone. So you need to, I mean, Instagram, it's a competitive place. If you want to grow on Instagram, you need to be posting as frequently as possible. If not, you're missing the mark. And here's what I will say, here's the final note for this page, is that Reels count. So that's always a question I get, is like, wait, do Reels count as one of my 3 to 5 posts? Yes, Reels count and Reels crush. Right now on Instagram, there is no hotter piece of the platform than Instagram Reels. There's nothing that is potential reach higher than Instagram Reels. I posted a video of my dog today on my dog's Instagram. I hit refresh 10 minutes later. Like I went and had a snack and hit refresh. She had 7,000 views. My dog did in 10 minutes. Why? Because it was an Instagram Reel. Instagram wants to keep people on the platform for as long as possible. So Instagram Reels, you just need to start creating them. There's no special magic tricks. You just need to start doing it. You just need to start posting a reel. You just need to start practicing. Stop looking at all the other ones. I mean, there's a million other templates for you to follow, but stop comparing yourself to everyone else's reels, and you need to just start posting reels. Absolutely, without a question. If you want to grow your account, you need to be posting reels. Now, let me talk about this. I just told you that you need to be posting 3 to 5 times a day. I told you you need to be posting as frequently as possible. And I know that there are 2 big complaints, 2 big questions, 2 big concerns, if you will, around posting this much. And we're going to talk about both of them. The first one is, but Brock, if I'm posting 3 times a day, isn't my audience going to tune me out? Aren't I going to overwhelm my audience? Like if I'm showing up that frequently, isn't it going to become overwhelming? Aren't people going to unfollow me because I'm posting way too often? If somebody, let's go with this analogy for a second. If somebody knocked on your door, and please answer this in the chat. Like I got to see people's responses in the chat. If somebody knocked on your door 3 to 5 times a day and handed you a $100 bill, would you open the door? Yes or no? Yes, absolutely. You're opening it every time. Now, if someone knocks on your door 3 to 5 times a day, and when you open it, someone said with a mask on, that made me laugh. If you open the door and they knock on it 3 to 5 times a day, but when you open it, they're just going to tell you a story about their lives. They're just going to tell you about how they went to dinner last night. They're just going to tell you about their workout this morning. They're just going to tell you about whatever they just ate. Everyone's saying, no, of course you're not going to open the door. That's what we're talking about on Instagram. You can show up as frequently as you want. You can post 3 to 5 times a day. You can post 1,000,000 times a day if you're Shaun T, or if you have that much value. If every time you post, people are like, wow, this is valuable. Wow, I've served my audience. Wow, I feel educated. Wow, I feel inspired, motivated. I'm captivated. You can show up as frequently as you want. You won't hear one single complaint. That should be your ultimate goal. That should be your ultimate question when you're posting on Instagram. is this post valuable? Does it serve my audience? And here's a great litmus test for you. Here's a great way to figure out if it is. Would this post matter? Write this down. Definitely write this down. Would this post matter to someone who doesn't know me? Would this post matter to someone who doesn't know me? Because guess what? If my fiance knocks on the door 3 to 5 times a day and she wants to tell me a story about her life, yeah, I'll open the door. I know her real well. I love her. Of course, I'm going to open the door. But if some random neighbor in my apartment complex knocked on my door 3 to 5 times a day, I would file a restraining order because I don't know you and I don't care. So it doesn't matter how interesting your life is. And that should be a good thing, right? Because especially like if you're on lockdown, if you're in quarantine right now, like we're not traveling at all, like maybe you're not even leaving the house. I was talking to a real estate agent today. She's like, Brock, I can't even go to the houses I'm selling. Like this should be good news because you don't have to be interesting. You don't have to live a fancy life and private jet and go on vacations and be like perfectly photoshopped and beautiful and have 6-pack abs and beautiful twins like Shaun T. You can just post valuable content. Show up with value. And let's talk about the second thing, right? Because I told you there was 2 things. So the first thing that everyone says is like, well, Brock, if I post that much, won't my audience get bored? Not if you show up with value. But the second thing is like, we don't have enough time to make these posts, right? Let me know if that's you. If you feel like you just don't have enough time to make 3 to 5 posts. Lauren said yes before I could even finish the question. Coach Jackie, Morgan, Tara said yes. Megan said yes. Okay, yes. You don't have enough time. Like I work on Instagram. That's what I do for a living. And I still sometimes feel like I don't have enough time. Also, let me know if you feel like your posts don't get enough engagement. Like you feel like, okay, finally I did make this post. I did what Brock told me to do, but I feel like I'm not getting, okay, 100% people are saying yes, hit and miss. Yes, absolutely. Swing and a miss. Absolutely. Third question. Let me know in the chat. Cindy said 50 out of 50. Let me know in the chat if you feel like it's tough for you to come up with what to post. Yes, that's like, those are the 2 things. It's like, if I show up that much, my audience is going to get bored, or, you know, I just don't have enough time. I don't get the engagement. I don't know what to post. Those are always the things I hear. There's one simple solution to all of these problems. I'm going to give you the term first. You can write down the term, and then I'll break it down what exactly we mean. There's one simple solution, and it's called featured content. Another way to say it might be reshared content, reposted content. This is a game changer. Let me walk you through exactly what I mean. What is featured content? Featured content is basically finding popular posts from other accounts that you then repost onto your own. I will explain to you exactly how to do this, exactly what it looks like, and exactly how frequently you should be doing this. Let's talk about this. Reposting someone else's post onto your own. This is what it looks like. This is a real example. The post, I know they look identical. This is like one of those games you see in the airport magazine where it's like find the 6 differences. There's only one difference between these 2 images. This is the original post you're seeing on the left from an academy called Squared Academy. It's an Instagram academy. They posted this great post. And I thought, you know what? I agree. This aligns with what I believe in. This aligns with what I teach. So I reposted it on the right. You can see in the bottom left, I gave them credit. And I'm going to walk you through how to do all of these things, but this is what reposted content looks like. And here's the really awesome thing. This took me 0 time to produce because I didn't have to make it. They already made it. This took me 0 time or creativity to come up with what to post. And this was one of my best performing posts for that month. Why? I don't know. It was good for them, so it was good for me. I don't have to be a marketing genius to know that if it's working for somebody else, if it's doing well on their account and it aligns with what I do, it's going to work for me as well. So let's talk about how to repost popular content on your Instagram. First of all, just go to a hashtag in your niche. And I'm going to fly through these, so get your pen and paper ready. I see some people taking screenshots. That's fine too. Number 1, go to a hashtag in your niche. Number 2, view top posts. Within every hashtag, there are 2 categories. There's top posts and there's recent posts. So just view the top posts. The recent posts, those are just chronological order, all the recent posts. The top posts, obviously, those are the top posts, hence the name. Instagram got really creative with it. Number 3, select one that fits your vibe. Now, am I going to post a selfie of some other woman onto my Instagram? No, that doesn't fit my account. That wouldn't make sense. And that probably wouldn't make sense for any one of you either. But something that's really easy to find that fits your vibe is a quote or a text post like this, an infographic, a motivational phrase, a hilarious video, a trending workout routine, something like that, something that fits your vibe. Then tap on the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner. Every post on Instagram has 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner. Look, you can see them right here. Those 3 dots right there in the upper right-hand corner. So just tap on those 3 dots, and then you tap copy link. That copies the unique link to the post. Then just open any reposting app. And yes, any is underlined because it's any reposting app. It doesn't matter what you use. There's 50 million reposting apps, whether you're on Android, Samsung, iOS, whether you're using a BlackBerry or a flip phone, every reposting app will work just fine. And if the app that you downloaded doesn't work just fine, then go ahead and download another one because there's, like I said, there's 50 million on the App Store. So download any reposting app and just paste that link that you copied into the reposting app. And usually the reposting app will do the rest for you. It will say like, do you want to repost this? And you just tap the big blue button that says repost and you can reshare it onto your Instagram. And of course, like I said earlier, add your own hashtags. Of course, you want to add your own hashtag. So I'll leave this slide up for just a second and allow everyone to take a screenshot or take a picture or finish your notes if you want. I'm going to have a sip of water real quick. Promise that's not coffee. And of course, always my final asterisk is always ask permission. It's always definitely recommended to ask permission. You don't want to just repost without giving anyone credit. You will always want to give credit. You always want to tag the original creator. You don't want to change their content. You don't want to crop out their name or blur out the fact that they made it. Give them credit. Ask permission. But doing this allows you to post more frequently with super valuable content that fits your niche, that fits your vibe, so to speak. And it just saves you time. Like, because now you don't have to think of it. You don't have to create it. You don't have to be an expert graphic designer. You don't have to know marketing. You don't have to know graphic design, anything like that. Someone else has already done it. You're promoting them and simultaneously growing your account. So how much should you be posting? How much should you be reposting is really what this should say. How much should you be reposting? And that doesn't look great, but whatever. How much should you be reposting? If you have less than 10,000 followers on Instagram, we recommend 80% of your content be featured or reshared content. Yeah. Wow, someone's name is Shalene. That's awesome. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else with my mom's name. Sorry, I think I have ADHD. I got my brain scanned today. If you have less than 10,000 followers, we recommend 80% of your content be reshared viral content. Now, if you have the time, if you have the resources to make more yourself, if you have the resources to recreate someone else's viral content, by all means, knock your socks off, go for it. But if you have less than 10,000 followers and you're trying to grow, you should be resharing other people's content. And don't worry, I'm about to show you some real hard proof that how this works. Now, if you have more than 10,000 followers, then you can flip the strategy and really, yeah, okay, I fixed it. 20% then can be reshared content. 80% can be your original content. But that's if you have more than 10,000. And if you're somewhere between, if you have 15,000, if you have 45,000, you know, it's a sliding scale. So you could be 50-50, 60-40, but somewhere between there. But if you're below 10,000 followers, 80% of your content is what we recommend. This should be reshared. Now, here's some of the accounts we run. We run in total, I think, 16 different Instagram accounts. We don't have an agency. We just run these accounts for our brands and our different products and our different services. These are some of the accounts we run. We run Push Me Daily, which is like a motivational account that's kind of related to my mom's push journals. That's about 106,000. Home Workouts for You is a like a home workout Instagram account. It's got like a little over 500,000. Marketing Impact Academy's got about 55,000. My own personal account, when I wrote this, it has 63.2. We are actually at 68.5. We're at 68.5. But anyways, let me show you on this next slide how much of our content is reposted or recreated content. Anything that's in green is a repost. So on Push Me Daily, it's the majority of the content. On Home Workouts for You, which has over 500,000 followers, it's 100% of the content. Could my mom be posting workout videos and workout pictures on Home Workouts for You of herself all day long? Yes, but she doesn't have the time for that. She doesn't have the energy for that. So we are resharing top viral content 100% of the time on Home Workouts for You. On Marketing Impact Academy, there's only 2 posts. Like there's this one of me right here, and there's this one down here. And honestly, this one is a repost because you can see it's right here on my own profile as well. So really that one's a repost as well. And even on my own personal account, it's about 50-50. 50% of the content is original content and 50% is either recreated or repurposed content. Besides reposting content, like I've been saying, you can also use top content to recreate your own version. So if someone else has a great piece of content that you want to repost, I think someone accidentally unmuted themselves. I'll take care of that. Okay, we should be good. You can recreate your own version of it. I'm gonna play a video. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. It's okay if you haven't. It was like one of the most trending viral videos of 2020. It was that guy in LA, and he's skateboarding and he's drinking cranberry juice. And if you haven't seen it, enjoy. If you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna make sure that I'm sharing my sound right now because the sound just makes this a million times better. But let me play this clip for you. Great video, hilarious video, like awesome, super trendy. Everyone loves it. It went viral in 2020. But here's why I show you that. I show you that because it was recreated 612,000 times. That's the day and age we're living in. This is the TikTok culture that we're all a part of. This is the social media world that we're living in. Recreating other people's content. Steve Jobs said that there's nothing original. Everything is just recreations of something, an idea that someone else had. Millions of people, actually to be correct, 612,000 people recreated this video. And why? Because it was trending. It was viral. They didn't have to come up with it on their own. They didn't have to think, what could I post on my TikTok or my Instagram Reels that would do really well? What would be popular with my audience? They just recreated a video that was already working. And you can do this with things that are easy, like quotes. I was looking up mental health recovery and I found this quote that says, healing doesn't happen all at once. I wrote it on a piece of paper and took a picture of myself with it. It's easy. It doesn't take a lot of time to come up with this content because you don't have to come up with it. Someone else is doing it for you. Now, when you aren't reposting content, what should you be posting? Because like I said, not 100% of the time are you going to be reposting, repurposing, or recreating content. Sometimes you're going to be posting your own stuff. And you know what's coming. Like we already talked about this. We already talked about this. Shareable content. Shareable content. And you know what shareable content is. I could put the word valuable right here. Valuable shareable content. And you know what it is. What is it? It's the stuff that you're taking screenshots of and sending to your friends. It's the things where you're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I'm going to put this on my story, or I'm going to DM it to my BFF. It's usually not overly branded. Like think about the things you're sending in your group chats. Like it's usually not some advertisement for like Miller Lite. Like it's usually not an overly branded thing. What it is though, is it's always valuable. It's always entertaining. It's always educational. It's going to motivate you. It's funny. It's insightful. Like it's something that you're going to walk away from the post having like feel something. You're going to feel something. You're going to learn something. You're going to be entertained. It's always valuable. It's never a sale or a promotion. It's never a sale or a promotion. When was the last time you saw someone else selling something on their Instagram feed and you're like, ooh, I'm going to share this? Never. It's never going to be a sale or a promotion because that stuff, again, if we don't know you, it doesn't matter that you're selling something. It has to be something valuable. And you want shareable content. The reason we say that your content should be shareable content, when you're not reposting, you should be posting shareable content, is because when your content gets shared, when you get shares, it directly puts your posts in front of more people. Plain and simple. You don't have to know anything about the Instagram algorithm. My grandmother knows that if she shares a post, I'm going to see it. Share, put your post in front of more people. So recently I've been seeing this image going around on social media. I heard like Jennifer Aniston or someone like reposted it. I'm like, no, this post is going viral right now. Some agency that has 1,200 followers posted it and they're like, we figured it out, the new algorithm to show maximum support for a post or content creators and how to fix the shadow ban. Most important is a save. That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. That's absolutely wrong. This is the correct order. Shares are what's most important. That's just common sense. Because when someone shares it, that means at least one other person is seeing it. And if I'm sharing it in my group chat, that means that like 8 other people are seeing it. And if I'm sharing it on my stories, that means at least a dozen other people are seeing it. Shares mean more eyeballs on your posts. I think we all have hundreds of saves. Like I've saved a bunch of stuff that I've never gone back and looked at. I have a million things on Instagram that I'm like, I saved this. I'm like, I'm going to come back to this, and I never go back to it. Saves, yes, they matter. Comments, yes, they matter. Likes, yes, they matter. They all count, but at the end of the day, shares are what matter most. And so as far as I'm concerned, like you have 2 choices. You can let the experts kind of figure out all of this stuff for you, figure out what matters most on Instagram, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, or you can try to figure out yourself. Everything that my mom and I do, everything that we share, all these tips, all of these resources, these are based on scientific studies. We don't just watch some YouTube expert and we're like, ooh, that sounds good, I'm going to tell that to my audience. We don't just listen to some podcast and we're going to be like, okay, we're going to regurgitate it because I heard it on a podcast. Everything that we share, everything that you learn tonight is based on scientifically taken studies. We have an academy with thousands of entrepreneurs inside of it, and we are constantly running studies and collecting data on not just Instagram as a whole, but specifically people like you, other entrepreneurs, other business owners, other side hustlers, other people who are trying to build a brand on social media. Because those are the people just like you, constantly running studies and collecting data on them so that we can know what works. And like I said, you can either let the experts do that for you or you can try to do it yourself. That is why we created the Insta Club Hub. My mom and I together run an Instagram membership called the Insta Club Hub. This is a screenshot of some of the lessons that are inside the Insta Club Hub, and it's for less than $1 a day. For less than $1 a day, you get access to 2 live trainings every single month with my mom and I. We did one, actually, and sometimes it's more than 2, to be totally honest with you. And it seems like every other month we're doing 3. We promised 2 a month. Last month, we did 2. This month, we've already done 2, and we're doing another one. So we're doing 3 in total in the Insta Club Hub, and it's for less than $1 a day right now. And I say right now because my mom keeps telling me, Brock, we need to raise the price, and I agree with her, and it will be going up soon. The price will be going up before the end of February, but as of right now, it's less than $27 a day. No, less than $1 a day, it's $27 a month. And for all of that, you can get access to all of these videos, and you can cancel at any time. So if you join the Insta Club Hub and you watch all of our trainings and you watch all of the past live trainings that we've done over the last few months, and you're like, you know what? I learned everything I want to learn. I don't really care to stick around. You can cancel at any time. Like there's no minimum commitment. You don't have to stick around. And here's the really cool thing that I think is awesome for network marketers specifically, for people with a team, is if you refer someone, you get the next month for free. And this little screenshot right here is actually outdated because you can see there's a link that we get, and here's some of the top referrers. And it says that right now the top referrer is Doris with 8. To be correct, the top referrer actually has 24 referrals. That's 2 free years worth of Insta Club Hub. Every time you refer someone and they join with your private link, you get your next month free. So like literally this could pay for itself. Literally, this could be a free membership where you get 2 live trainings every single month with my mom and myself, plus dozens of pre-recorded trainings, plus something that I think is really undervalued, which is this Q&A section right here, where you get to just ask whatever questions you want. Here's a quote from Martine Williams. She said in less than 24 hours, she saw a 370% increase in likes and 83% new account reached. 24 hours. Melissa said that my Instagram impressions went up by 5,400% in less than 5 days. Like, that's insane. I don't even know how that happens. Here is a video that I just got this week that I wanted to share with you.
I'm not new to Instagram, but Insta Club Hub has been invaluable.
Actually, let me make sure that I can have the sound on. Okay, good, it's on. Wanted to make sure.
My business. This month alone, I've grown by 60% in followers and about 12,000% in reach, which has been insane. All of their information is based on case studies and data, which as a researcher, I really appreciate, but it's still really tangible and fun and strategies that I can pretty much apply immediately. You need this membership.
That was, and this is Sharice Allison. Sharice is one of our all-star members. She grew 10,000 followers in 30 days, but I'll let her do the talk.
I spent 2 years growing my business on Instagram. I had a ton of success in connecting with my current following, but no matter what I did, I couldn't get my page to grow. I wanted to connect with more people, and I couldn't find a system that worked. So I invested in Insta Club Hub, and I was shocked at the amount of content I immediately got access to. Things that were really easy that I could implement in my business right away. And 2 live trainings a month with the experts. Best of all, it worked. My following shot through the roof. In less than 30 days, I grew by over 10,000 engaged followers right in my target audience. My reach grew by over 200%. My content interactions by over 200% in less than 30 days. Are you kidding me? If you are serious about growing your business, you need to invest in Insta Club Hub.
Love that message from Sharice. So to join Insta Club Hub, which again is less than $1 a day for 2 live trainings every single month with my mom and myself, and access to all of our past recorded trainings, it's instaclubhub.com. And I'll put the link in the chat as well. But Insta Club Hub, and I think we actually have some members who are on here live. I saw some people commenting they love ICH. So we like to call it ICH or the Hub, but Insta Club Hub, I'm telling you, the price is going up soon. My mom always says, like, this is a steal. This is a no-brainer. I absolutely agree. And here's the cool thing. If you join now, then when the price does go up, it won't go up for you. So you lock in that rate. There's a bunch of people who I know who are like waiting around. They're trying to decide, you know, do I start or not? If you wait, it will end up costing you more money. But if you join now, it's $27 a month, and you could get a referral and then get next month free and then get next month free after that and keep referring more people. So again, the link, I've put it in the chat. It's Insta Club Hub. And I really appreciate everyone listening tonight. I would love to open this up for some Q&A, if that's okay with you, Beth. We can do either chat-based Q&A or we can do video-based Q&A, whatever you want. But I want to say, if anyone's got to sign off, I saw someone said like their baby woke up. If anyone has to sign off, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. This brings me a lot of joy, and this is what I love to do. So really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for taking notes and for learning. I really, really do appreciate it.
Love it. I do. I see some questions coming in. I grabbed a few out of the chat while you were speaking. So let me go through those really quickly. First of all, there were a couple people saying they were really distracted by how perfect your teeth were, so they couldn't pay attention to what you were saying. So I just thought I'd let you know that.
I appreciate that. They are 100% fake. They're not real.
I love it. I love it. Honesty. Okay, you answered that question. I'm seeing some questions come in now about this too. So where do stories rank? So if we're making, 3 to 5 posts on our feed a day, there were a lot of comments about, I'm in my stories all day, every day. Does that kind of counter the 3 to 5 posts, or where do you rank those as far as like the value piece that you're talking about?
I love this question, and I love that we're starting here. Instagram, listen to me now. Listen to me now, everyone. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. Instagram stories will not help you grow your following one bit. I get on average about 10,000 views on my Instagram stories every single day. The most followers I've ever gotten from an Instagram story is 2. That's because Instagram stories don't reach people necessarily who aren't following you. It takes a lot of work for someone to like find your profile, go watch your stories, then decide. There's way too many steps involved. Instagram stories will not help you grow your following. So if you are trying to grow your Instagram account, if you're focused on growth, you should then be focused on posting in the Instagram feed. If you're trying to build more relationships, then you should be focused on stories, because that is what stories are for. Stories are for helping you build relationships, build connections, and help people just like empathize with you and connect with you and see that you're a real human being. That's what stories are for. Ultimately, like the ideal, the perfect Instagram strategy is to go all in 100% on both. I recognize that's not possible for everyone at all times, but that's what you need to know, is if you're only posting on stories and you're rarely posting to your feed, you're never going to grow on Instagram. It's going to be really, really tough.
Got it. Next question is in regards to kind of a two-part question that I saw coming in a lot is, when you're reposting content, resharing content, do you write your own caption for that repost? And then, not really the same thing, but you can just answer both at the same time. Do you use hashtags on Reels?
Yes. Okay. So first of all, we'll tackle the reposting thing. I will usually add on my own 2 cents in the caption. I'll basically say, like, I'll leave their caption below, and then above their caption, I will type my 2 cents, or even below their caption, I'll type, like what I think, why I agree, why I disagree, something like that. So, if their caption is short, if it's like, hey, follow us, you can delete that. Something like that isn't needed. But I usually like to leave their caption and add my own 2 cents. Hashtags for Reels, yes, the exact same principles apply. Same thing as I said for the Instagram feed. 28 in your first comment as soon as you post. Same thing for Reels or for any other normal typical feed post.
Do you have a recommendation or preference on if a profile should be public or private?
Yeah. So if you are private and you are trying to grow your Instagram account, it's just like being a street performer on a cul-de-sac. No traffic. No one's going to find you. You're not going to do very well. If you are trying to grow on Instagram, you have to, first of all, be public. You cannot be private. You have to be public. And then once you are public, I recommend switching to a professional account, from just a normal, typical, everyday account to a professional account. And within professional, there's 2 options. Once you switch to professional, you'll be given the option for business or creator. Right now, I'm recommending creator, because Instagram recently took away music from business accounts, which like sucks, because now all of a sudden all these business owners can't use music. So I recommend switching to a professional creator account, and definitely you need to be public.
I saw a couple questions coming through about the reposting, resharing content, making sure, like, does it matter if it doesn't visually match your feed? Do you have like a perspective on like the visual appearance of what your feed looks like?
I love this question too. I mean, these questions are hitting everything that I'm like, I didn't make a slide about this, but I hope we talk about it. The visual aesthetic appearance of your feed does not matter. It's 2021. It's not 2016. We don't need to all have the exact same filter on every single picture. And you know why? Because that's boring as heck. If every single one of your photos has the exact same filter and the exact same vibe and color palette, that's boring. I'm over it. I want what's real. We all want what's real. We want what's authentic. We want what's honest. We want what's transparent. We want you to be real. And when you have the exact same pretty filter on every single photo, and your teeth look fake like mine, and you suddenly don't have any pores, you don't look real. So you don't need the perfect aesthetically looking. Go ahead, check out my feed. Like, you got pictures in there that are, just look at this. This doesn't match. Black, white, blue, green, bright green, dark green, orange, red. It's rainbow. Because that doesn't matter. How pretty you are and how great your filters are and how interesting your life is, that doesn't matter anymore, because we want what's real. We all went through 2020. We all went through the suck. We're all like, okay, I'm over the fake Photoshopped filtered life. Let me see what's real and honestly add value. It doesn't matter what your posts look like if they're valuable. It doesn't matter how crinkled that $100 bill is if it's a $100 bill. That's the bottom line.
I love the $100 bill analogy. Okay, 2 more really quick because I think they're short. One is why 28 hashtags? And then the second one is, do you post all of your reels to your grid, your feed grid?
Love both of these. 28 hashtags because Instagram allows us to use 30. And sometimes you're typing them out and you might accidentally type 29, or you might add a hashtag to your caption and not realize it, or you might want to go back later and maybe you're responding to someone's question and you put a hashtag. So basically we say 28 because you can then fly right below Instagram's radar. It's like if a flight, like an airplane can fly at a maximum altitude of 5,000 feet. You probably don't want to fly right at 5,000 feet. Like, let's fly right below it. That way you're still like, you're pretty high up there. You're still going to get a great reach potentially from hashtags, but you're not going to like violate Instagram or anything like that. So that's why 28. And then yes, absolutely. Every reel should be posted to your feed. If it's not, it's not going to do as well. It's very unlikely to reach new people. Definitely every single reel posted to your feed.
Love it. All right, you guys, that is all that we have time. I see a couple comments in the chat like, you have me signed up. So this was incredible, like unmatched value that you gave to us tonight. So I just want to thank you again for spending your time with us. Thank you everybody for hopping on, and yeah, we will talk to you guys soon. Thanks again, Brock.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for having me, Beth. I appreciate it.
Of course, have a good one.